Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another Coffee Ranch with Dano and Frank, our Patriot Bald Eagle. If you have to hit pause on this video to get your coffee or whatever beverage you deem necessary, go ahead and do that now. This will most likely be a lengthy discussion. We're going to kind of continue on from what we were talking about yesterday. We got an enormous response on different things going up in stores around the country and things that I was very unaware of. Well, not unaware of, but as we cover mostly food on the channel and ways to save money and how to stock up on things in a way that can fit in between all budgets, we need to talk about some other things too. One of the big ones I want to talk about tonight is medicines. Over-the-counter medicines, prescriptions, we continue to have issues. And as we were talking about different things from out of state, things that come from out of the country, whether that be China, Mexico, Canada, these are some things we need to discuss. So medicines come from all over the place, and I was unaware how many different medicines that we actually get from Canada. And I do know we get a lot from China, but a lot of these things, a lot of like name brands and stuff, have gotten pretty unaffordable. I think we can all say that. Tylenol, Advil, different name brands, even sinus medicines. I'm dealing with the pollen right now. Cincinnati got my car. I had to wash my car off earlier today. It was completely yellow. The pollen is just outrageous. You can probably hear it in my voice a little bit. However, those are things we have to deal with. I am not taking any kind of medicines for that right now because I feel like sometimes that just makes it worse. But wanted to talk about some of the different prices that we've been talking about. Like we have noticed over the last 6 to 7 months, and we're going to be talking some things that aren't food today, like different store brand medicines. Like I've noticed that a lot of Kroger brands have gone up lately. I've noticed that Equate, which is a Walmart brand, has been going up, and a lot of these continuously go up. The Target brand has gone up. It's been a while for that one, but as we see these price increases kind of go across the nation and beyond, kind of what I want to discuss is everybody is affected. Everybody. These people are paying more for eggs. These companies are paying for eggs. These things that use eggs in the products. Well, this is going to cause other things to go up as well. Transportation, for instance. What's the insurance? Oh, and let's not even get into insurance. Okay? Now, how many of you, well, I will for just a second. How many of you, it is past January, how many of your insurance companies have raised your rates on home insurance? Now, we've gotten a lot of comments over the last couple months that your home insurance rates have gotten pretty unaffordable. As a matter of fact, I was talking to a couple people down in Florida, and they were saying that they knew people who were moving out of Florida because they couldn't afford the home insurance. That it has gotten outrageous. Outrageous. I may have to save all that for another video. I don't know, because there's a lot that I want to discuss. Don't want this video to be too long, but we're going to cover all of these different things today. Because price increases at the grocery store, that is something that we always have to focus on because everybody has to eat, right? That's why we're always trying to point out the best deals. We're always trying to point out things that you guys mention on the channel. If you have trouble finding something, leave it in the comments. If you're having an issue with it costing too much, leave it in the comments, because we piece together all these different things for the future of how we can save on it, whether you may need to go to a store brand or something, because I agree. We kind of see these things in trends. I noticed Advil and Tylenol particularly went up a while back, a little over a year ago, and they've kind of sat there. But store brands have been going up like crazy. We see where a 500 count of Kroger ibuprofen is now $8.49. Now, they still make it a deal when you buy 1,000. They come in the 2-packs. They are now $15.99. I remember just a couple years ago, those were $9.99. $9.99, and everybody mentioned it when it went up to $10.99. I mentioned it too. I was like, oh, I can't believe it's up $1. Well, now it's up $6. And it's like, these things are why we talk about these things on the channel. We have good communication with our audience in the comments. So if I personally cannot get to your comment, we have a lot of longtime viewers that always give good advice. And take that for what you will. Make sure you always do your research. Always do your research on these things. Speaking of eggs, though, guys, I noticed it went up again today. It went up again today. I'm not going to spoil it because it is in our video tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Part of what I do on here, it is partially entertainment, right? And I'll tell you, I mean, it's crazy. I'll just say that. It's absolutely ridiculous the way some of these things go up. But it is good in a lot of ways to where we've seen a lot of things come down. I will say I went to Kroger. That's all I'll say. I was in utter shock at some things, and I was in utter shock in a good way in some others. Bad in some, good in others. But the one thing I will say is all of these other things, like people comment on things all the time, different soaps, you know, and some other body washes, other medicines, vitamins. Vitamins have gone up. You know, it's masked. It is hidden by the you know, I've said this in the past, blinded by the sale, right? Because take nature-made vitamins. I know we have hundreds of people hundreds of viewers on the channel that always comment on nature-made vitamins. And as to where you always see that buy one, get one free. And this is why I've said in previous videos that you may want to do the math on that to make sure that it's worth it. I've seen items at Walgreens before and some other places where if you buy one, you know, you're saving more, maybe not more, but you're saving a couple dollars off of the one. So if ever there's not a buy one, get one free at Kroger, well, then Walgreens is going to be your cheaper option. However, prices have gone up so much that it is still almost worth it that if it's something you're going to use all the time, I have found that more specific vitamins are going to be the cheaper. Okay, like say you take vitamin like B12 or something. Well, that's going to be cheaper at Kroger, obviously, than some other places like Walgreens and stuff like that. However, Walgreens does have some deals sometimes where you can get like buy one, get one of equal or lesser value 50% off. I've never seen a buy one, get one at Walgreens before, but when you do that's why I say you have to do the math, because that might be a better deal sometimes for the one specific that you get compared to what you're going to be paying at Kroger on the buy one, get one free, because those have most definitely gone up. Nature's Bounty, Nature's Nature Made, and all those. Even the Kroger brand has gone up over time. But the reason why I mention this is because, you know, these little things we see outside of like food and stuff like that, because that is what we mostly focus on. But I do focus on some of these other things, and you'll hear me hint at these sometimes, like make sure you do the math. Because I don't point out any specific one or anything like that, because there is a massive amount, and I don't want to just point out one and then somebody say, well, I went to Kroger and mine was $4 more. That's why I don't do that, because I don't have the time to go over each individual one. I just try to point out when there are buy one, get one free, and I'll kind of pan over some of the crazy high prices that we all know have gone up on them. But, you know, maybe that gives you a little bit of an idea of, well, I saw that cheaper somewhere else. Also, there have been things we have noticed, oral hygiene products going up. Oh, before I forget too, I'll get right back into that. Advil, you know, we keep talking about Dollar Tree and all this stuff, and I'll mention this again. One of you did mention, because I thought maybe I was reading this wrong, but somebody else said at your Dollar Tree you have seen that they are now selling 24 caplets of Advil and 24 of Tylenol. Advil, $4.50 for 24 ibuprofen at Dollar Tree for $4.50. Same as what I saw. I thought maybe it was a mistake, but somebody mentioned that they saw that as well. 24 count of Tylenol was $4.75. That is unacceptable. That is outrageous. I don't know what Dollar Tree's trying to accomplish by mixing that into the aisle of all of the different, all the, and maybe them just having that might help sell theirs. You know, when you're selling yours for $1.25, which it is a few less, I think like it might be like 15 in those. But really, when you do the math, I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer. You just buy two of the one, the sound, is it Sound Body? I'm not sure which brand it is at Dollar Tree, but it's I think it's like 15 or something, but you're only paying $1.25 for the same 200 milligrams per caplet of ibuprofen that you're paying for in that crazy, way overpriced Advil. Now, some people could argue that Advil is better. We always buy store brand of everything. But I hear you. I hear you. You know, if it works for you and you've tried others and it doesn't work, you do you. You do you. But these things, and we'll get into more Dollar Tree. I wanted to get into the oral hygiene thing because these are things that I've been noticing that have gotten outrageous, and I don't talk about them nearly enough. Okay, toothpaste. Toothpaste is unreal. It is like, how is this so expensive? Like, you look at the ingredients of things, and you look at some ingredients in others, and it's like, well, how is this product that has the same ingredient in it, that has a lot more of this ingredient in it, way more expensive or way cheaper than this crazy Crest toothpaste that is $5 a tube? Now, I know there's things, extra whitening and stuff like that. It's like, I feel like everybody nowadays is trying to kind of copy Sensodyne, right? Because Sensodyne, as to where it is $6.99 for a 4-ounce tube, they don't seem to have trouble selling that, and that price has not gone up. Knock on wood. It will eventually. But I think a lot of this is what we see with a lot of different products, kind of why I wanted to mention this, because we're seeing store brands that are constantly nudging up to the name brands, but keeping it close enough to where it's like, well, I'm still going to buy the store brand because I'm saving 50 cents on it. And you do have to ask yourself, is it worth that? Some people probably disagree with me when it comes to like Del Monte canned fruits. I do not like Del Monte canned fruits. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I'm just not a fan. The way maybe it's the way they pack them in the cans. I don't really know. Fruit is fruit, but there is something different about it. The Great Value is our favorite, $1.48 a can. And yes, the price does kind of reflect, what you're getting, I guess. When I'm eating this and I'm like, is this really worth $1 more? No. No, I would rather get Kroger brand for $1.69 a can than Del Monte for whatever it is now, $2.69 now. I don't know. They keep going up. They go up. They've been going up like a dime every month. We were talking about fruits, canned fruits going up. Well, yeah, because eventually it's going to hit them as well, because we've been seeing fruit prices in or out of season, doesn't matter. We've been seeing those prices constantly go up. Now, I will say today, I found some pretty good deals at Kroger on different produce. So you may want to check that out if you have a Kroger or Kroger-owned store around the country, like Ralph's, King Soopers, Mariano's, Food for Less out west, and many other companies that Kroger owns that sell Kroger products and have these digital coupons. And I will say that there's an enormous amount of digital coupons at Kroger this week. A lot. Don't go into the store trying to use the scanner. Do it on your laptop at home. Also, let me say too, I fixed my laptop. I was going to buy a new one. I have been working on this thing for a while. I finally figured it out. Somehow I was able to get the connection back. I went through like a rigorous research and going through, and finally was able to fix my laptop. So that is good. Don't have to go out and spend $400 to $500 on some other laptops. At least for now. Again, knock on wood. But a lot of these other products, I know you guys want me to talk about some of these. So, I felt like toothpaste, good time to talk about that, as there are some digital coupons on some of them. Again, it's all about stocking up on some of the different sales as you see them. And I say that, I know I sound like a broken record, but that's really what it is. If you go to the store, you might be paying the price on a digital coupon or a sale or whatever of what the regular price was a few years ago. But we're still ultimately saving in that, right? The places where we see less and less, and I hate to say this, are places like Walmart. How often do you go into a Walmart and you're like, oh, I'm going to go check out all the rollback offers? Well, you're going to have a long day because you're going to be searching and searching and searching in between the aisles and around. Usually, like produce, you'll be able to see rollback, rollback. And even at that, is it really that great of a price? And there's not many of them. Now, I'm not really trying to hate on Walmart here because Walmart, yeah, true minimum price on a lot of different things. But you're not going to get the kind of sales that you get at Kroger or Aldi or even Meijer, right? So, it's why we always talk about these things. I talk about Kroger, again, being the most expensive store to shop at where you can save the most money. If you shop at least like we do, right, then you're going to save more than what you're spending at Dollar Tree, right? And I say that because if you factor in the ounces, and I know people say, well, you got to show how much is in there. I try to as we go along, but it's very difficult to add that into these videos, as these videos would be 2 hours long if I did. I try to point out, the things that we get comments on all the time, like maybe cereal, as a cereal shrunk, which we all know that has. Coffee, all the obvious things. I did hear where people were seeing things at Walmart, and some of the prices were off. Now, I don't know. I haven't experienced that. I almost feel like you got to kind of stumble onto these things. Okay, that's why I always say, like, if something looks too good to be true, it probably is, even if it reads that. That's why I always say, if it's something suspicious, take a photo of it. Take a photo of it, and you know what? If you have to wait for them to go check it and say, oh, yeah, no, he's right, or it's in the wrong spot. I get that sometimes. They'll say it's in the wrong spot. It's like, no, it's not. No, it might have been, maybe a different sticker or something, or maybe another aisle, but with the weight, with the product, it's in the right spot. Now, whether it's you had another sticker or something, maybe there was some mix up, and they always give it to you for the price. At least I've never had. Maybe once or twice over the years I've had an issue, but I try. That's where it's like, you're. I understand you're holding up the line. It's upsetting for people behind you. And the thing is, I was just talking to my mom about this a little while ago. Like, this holding up everybody, they could just have something where they just push a button and they say, oh, okay, yeah, no, that's right. But even then, I guess, the computer might mess up, or give the employee, like, if you're doing self-checkout, have one for them, have one for each register, and then just have a book. I mean, that can't be that hard to do, right? Just a copy, copies of what's going on, have that out there so that if that happens, right? And you pick out the product, well, then they can see that it's on sale or just the regular price and give it to you. Instead of having to call somebody, have them go back, check that out, and then come back, and then there's still confusion. Like, I mean, at that point, I hand them the product and I say, well, never mind. I don't know what else to do. I took a photo. I showed you. Right? We've had I won't say what stores, but you guys probably know over the years the ones we've visited. If you've been on the channel for a while, I've pointed this out several times where things were the wrong price, and they might not have gotten to that yet. But it's like, you had this on your shelf for $3.89. I'm not paying $4.79, or whatever it changed to. You can have it back. If you don't want to give it to me for the price that you said on the shelf, then you can take it back. Here you go. Thanks. Sorry. I mean, I don't know what to do at that point. But I did have an issue today with a Kroger digital coupon. Okay, there was a digital coupon for, what was it? The beefsteak bread. The seeded rye bread. I love that bread, but it is $5 a loaf at Kroger, and that's a bit too much. But they had it on a digital coupon for $2.99. It would not let me scan the coupon. I saw the expiration was March 25th, 2025. So I took it up front, and the lady, went and looked in the book. She finally found it. But I'm just thinking, and it wasn't busy. It wasn't busy where I was, so I didn't feel as aggravated about it. I wasn't aggravated at all. This stuff happens. But this is why I say, do this at home. Now, I know that you're going to run across things in the store that you either didn't see on your computer or they might have added. They might have added to the list. That could have been one item that maybe they added to the list and it hadn't been in the computer yet. Because sometimes if your little scanner thing isn't working on your phone in the store, I've had to log out and then log back in. They'll tell you to do that, and then it'll work. Well, I did that, and it didn't work. Everything else worked. All the other digital coupons did, except for that one. Now they had no issue. They gave it to me, but they did. It was a process to look it up and everything. And I understand that people probably come in and they try. Maybe some people abuse that. But they're just it seems like there has to be a simpler way to do those things. But anyway, I've got it going off here. That's what we do on these coffee rants. We just rant about things. Dunkin' coffee. Also, I got a new coffee today. I'm not going to spoil it. I was going to drink it today for the coffee rant, but I was like, nah, I don't want to spoil it because it's kind of a little surprise in tomorrow's video. But Dunkin' coffee today. That's another thing, too, I will spoil a little bit, is there's a lot of different coffee deals at Kroger right now. Folgers is not one of them. So, throwing that out there. Let's see. What else did I want to talk about? I am kind of like... It's not really disturbing to me because I'm used to it. And you guys should probably be used to it now, too. But we keep seeing these things. It's not just at Kroger. It's everywhere. We keep seeing these low price stickers, new low price, all that stuff. But it's the regular price. That really bugs me when an employee you're making it. It seems like a lot of extra work that you're going around putting these low price stickers on, and it's not a lower price. It's the regular price. It's the price that it's always been, and it just seems like you're wasting extra manpower to do that. I mean, if you were dropping the price, even if you were dropping it 10 cents or something, well, then at least you have something to go on. But when you see low price and it's like, well, that's the regular price it's been. And I guess they expect that a lot of people may not know that, right? But that's why you have Dano here, because I remember prices. If something's $3.49 and you put, I'm going to know when you put a low price sticker on there. Right? And I point it out because I don't want people to be fooled and be like, oh, this is low. Now, I will say that sometimes when we have found lower price stickers in the past, I haven't seen this as of recent yet. I have not seen this as of recent to where we see a low price sticker on something at Kroger and then like a week or two later it goes up in price. Now, we may start seeing that again. I don't know. There's no way to really ever tell. It could go up. That could be a multitude of different reasons, though. Maybe not just Kroger. And that could be playing it safe on some things. Kroger or other companies, Walmart, whoever, may understand that some of these other products that have egg and beef and stuff like that, things that are going up exponentially over the last couple months, heavy price increases, that they're showing what that is now in preparation for if they have to raise the price on something because maybe the manufacturer did, because obviously eggs are costing a lot of money right now. Now, people always say in the comments too, in the grand scheme of things, 50, 60 cents an egg really isn't that bad. You know what? Yeah, it is. But I get it. That's an egg is a cheap meal at 50, 60 cents. Okay. But what has happened to get us here is kind of disturbing with the whole avian thing, all the bird calling and stuff, all the chicken calling. It's a little disturbing. Seems way different than it used to be when this problem happened, which I'm not going to go into. I've gone into that in other videos. But the issue now is the backlog, right? Because all this stuff is going to catch up to us. All this stuff is going to catch up to the companies, right? Because now they're paying more, but like I said, backlog, because this was already in preparation probably for months. We may not see items of beef, we might see beef jerky go up. I'm just naming an example here. We may see, different things with eggs go up in price. We might see different yogurts go up in price. We might see things that are made with eggs or anything that has to do with eggs go up in price in the next few months. Even if we see egg prices drop, which I hope we do here at some point. I mean, I'm sure we will, but a lot of people are trying to make up for their losses. And, you keep reading these stories of people buying chickens and having chickens in their backyard and stuff. Hey, you know what? I mean, I think that's cool anyway. But you're going to spend a lot more on that than you are going and buying a $6 carton of eggs. But I'm not trying to deter you away from that because I think that's pretty awesome. I think we should all grow if you can. If you can, grow your own. If you can grow your own, if you can raise your own, hey, that's awesome. And yeah, you're going to have endless eggs well, not endless because, you're able to sustain yourself a little bit by growing some of your own and raising some of your own. I think that's awesome. I think that's awesome. But yeah, for feed, different things like that, yeah, you're going to spend money to do that. But hey, you know what? You'll have a nice little chicken coop. And I think it's cool. I think it's awesome. I have friends that have chicken coops, and they love it. They absolutely love it. But guys, that's pretty much the end of the rant today. I didn't want to go too heavy into one subject. I kind of wanted to talk about what's coming. It's definitely coming. We're going to see price increases on some things, but we're still at this point here on March. What is today? 12th, 13th? I don't even know. It's March something. Somewhere near mid-March 2025. This is what's going on now. We're finding some pretty good deals, except for beef, coffee, and even coffee. If you're not too picky, I've been finding some good deals on coffee, right? But the ones that we always get comments on, obviously, those are probably the most popular as we're finding less and less sales, and they keep going up in price. But guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I'll have something out here for you. Well, yeah, we got something coming out at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Make sure you don't miss that because there are some good deals. Even with the bad stuff going on over here, we got a lot of good things happening too. Good time to stock up on things. I did go over a lot of different things that people have been leaving in the comments while we were gone, keeping up with some of our older videos and kind of talking about some of those things in tomorrow morning's video. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great night.